How do you deal when an ex says you're the only reason they're alive? We had been in a long-distance relationship for quite some time. I had been trying to discuss closing the distance, but every time I brought it up, they would pull away. They would often stonewall me and abruptly leave the conversation. Although I tried to break up a few times, they always convinced me that we could work it out. They made me believe that our fights were normal for long-distance relationships, that misunderstandings were expected, and that not all couples met quickly. I started to doubt if my concerns were valid. I shared my anxieties and uncertainties, yet I still chose to stay. Eventually, they would occasionally mention the idea of us visiting each other in the future, but they never wanted to make any concrete plans. They would talk about it but avoid discussing the specifics when I tried. When I expressed something that bothered me, they would stonewall me until I dropped the issue. It never got resolved. When they were bothered by something, I initially tried to compromise hoping that they would do the same, but they wouldn't. They would be so persistent and angry that, in frustration, I eventually relented. I often felt that I had to accept things as they were, even if it was hurtful, while bending myself in other situations. About a year ago, I started standing my ground more firmly. Our fights became intense, filled with accusations and guilt-tripping comments like, "So you don't love me anymore, huh?" If I addressed something that bothered me, they would respond with, "It hurts me to know you feel that way. I can't talk about this anymore." They would stonewall me, and when they eventually contacted me, which could be a day or longer, they would simply brush the issue under the rug. A few months ago, during a calm moment following a period of intense fights, they confessed that the only reason they hadn't harmed themselves was the hope of us being together in the future. After that, I desperately tried to discuss and resolve our issues, hoping to somehow make it work. When things were good, they were great, but when they were bad, they were unbearably intense. It was taking a toll on my mental well-being. I finally decided to break up a few days ago. They pleaded with me not to leave, saying that anything but that would be the worst thing I could do to them. They reminded me that our anniversary was approaching and urged me to think of the good times. They asked if I would give up on us so easily just because of one bad thing, despite all the good things we had shared. The thing is, I didn't believe it was just one bad thing. I felt overwhelming guilt for ending the relationship, and the thought of them harming themselves haunted me. However, I couldn't continue to handle the emotional strain. I have no contact with their family or friends to ask for their support. I'm not even sure if their loved ones know about me, as we had planned to wait and see how things progressed before involving our families. I tried to end things as gently and calmly as possible, making it clear that the relationship wasn't working out and that it was better to end it before causing more pain to each other. I didn't blame or accuse them. I let them know that if they needed a final conversation for closure, they could reach out, and we would talk it out, answering any questions they had. But it would end there. Despite the strange circumstances, I still love and care for them. However, I don't wish to go back. Nonetheless, I'm worried and want them to heal and find happiness.